My unit is third grade math and science. It's called Represent and Interpret Data. First of all, for one of my assessments, I'm going to do the question and answer assessment. Ask the students what they know about bar and graphs, answer any questions they might have. And then while I'm lecturing, I'll do a thumbs up, thumbs down. Also, in week 2, I'm having the students work in groups, and they will do a survey amongst other groups in the class, and each group will create a bar graph. I will do an exit slip. Also, week 3, I'm going to do a worksheet over a pictograph. I'm going to let the students watch a YouTube video about the Very Hungry Caterpillar, and then they will collect data while they're watching the video, and then they will make a pictograph from the data. And then my last assessment will be the performance task experiment assessment. And the performance task experiment is going to be the salt crystal growth. And that is, I was trying to find it here. I can't seem to find it. Anyways, I will get the students to do an experiment growing salt crystals, and then this is a checklist for the performance task. They're going to write their name at the top of their paper plate, and they're going to follow directions precisely as directed when performing the salt crystal experiment. And there's step-by-step procedures. Then when they're done with the salt crystal experiment, when they're done creating the salt experiment, they're going to place the salt crystal plate on the back table where it can get warmth. And they will then every day for 3 days, they will collect data by measuring with a ruler and record the data in the notebook. They're going to measure how big the salt crystals have grown, and they're going to record it in their notebook. After all the data is collected, they will draw a line plot graph using a ruler with measurements as discussed, placing each new data point 2 inches apart, and then connect the points of growth on the chart. They're going to place their name in the right top corner of their poster that they drew their line plot graph on. And then, when everyone is done, I will call upon them one at a time, and they'll come to the front of the class and present the information that they collected and they analyzed. I have a rubric that I'm going to use to grade the students on their project. As it says, the students properly display data on the line plot graph, and if they did as they were instructed correctly and neatly, they'll get 3 points. And then if the data is displayed neatly on the line graph with 1 or 2 errors, they'll get 2 points. And then if they have 3 to 5 errors, 1 point. Then the next objective that I'm going to grade the students on is the student collects data from the salt crystal experiment. This is when the student will go for 3 days consistently and measure how much the salt crystals have grown. If they do it every day, they'll get 3 points. If they do it for 2 days, they get 2 points. If they do it for 1 day, they get 1 point. The third objective is the student shows proficiency organizing and analyzing the collected data. They'll get 3 points if the data was organized and analyzed correctly on the line plot graph. They get 2 points if they made 1 to 2 errors when plotting their information, and they'll get 1 point if they make 3 to 5 errors. And that is my salt crystal data collection rubric. Now I have a formative assessment that I plan on giving the students in week 2. This is a teacher-made assessment. It is over a bar graph, and I have a bar graph up here, and the students will answer questions related to the bar graph. There's 5 questions. It's like how many more, how many less, how many total. Like one of the questions is how many students want to go to the beach and the water parks. The students would have to know how to read a bar graph. Another one is how many fewer students wanted to go to the beach than Disney World. Like I said, they would learn they'd have to subtract. And then I have a modified one. It'll pull up. Okay, here's the modified one. I modified it. I made the font bigger, and I separated the questions, had more spacing between the questions, and also I took away one of the possible answers, so they have less. They only have three possible answers instead of 4. And then also I have a data of my summative unit test. And this is over the Common Core state standards that I wanted to teach and the students to learn, which were that they would draw a scaled picture graph, that they will communicate in writing or in graphic organizer, a pictograph, or a bar graph, that they would communicate the results of scientific investigation with the graph or charts, their findings. Also, that they will communicate the results of a scientific investigation in appropriate graphs, charts, or writing. So here's an example of some line graphs. They will have to answer questions too. There's a bar graph. They will have to answer questions. And a different bar graph. And then down here at the bottom, I asked them to create a pictograph from the data that I gave them. And so they actually have to draw and create a pictograph down here. And then I created a modified unit, data unit test also. And by doing that, I just made the font bigger. And like I said, one less option for them to choose from. So I have 3 possible answers instead of 4. The spacings farther apart. There's the bar graphs. And then down here at the bottom where they create, only have them creating, only gave them 2 examples to display in their pictograph instead of 3. I only put the 3 students and 2 students and left out the 5 that they would have to draw. Now, some of the questions that I had while doing this assignment, as far as the checklist for their performance task lesson, I wasn't exactly sure what all that was wanted there. So I did some research on the internet, but I still was not exactly sure exactly what to put there. And my list of assessments, I wasn't sure if we were supposed to go like each week tell the type of assessments we were going to do, or if we were just supposed to say the assessments throughout the whole unit. That's 2 of the things that I needed clarifying. And that is my, so far that's my unit.